Over the past few months, many right-wing Israeli officials have been pushing to pass a new controversial law that would limit how much non-governmental organizations are able to fund political campaigns. Joining us today in the studio is Knesset member Yoav Kisch, who's been behind these efforts.
Hi.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
So to begin, why are you pushing to limit non-governmental funds within the Israeli government?
Today, Israel elections goes this way, that parties are competing for the voters. We don't have the phenomena that you see in the US, which is super PACs, where a lot of foreign money, local or foreign, pulls into a specific interest of parties. So the question that actually is what we're asking in this law is, do we want to keep Israel elections as a time where the parties are competing, or do we want to open it for a super PAC scenario, which I think is totally different and where money can buy votes, and we don't want to be at that stage.
So, obviously a lot changed after the U.S. Senate published this report proving that there were resources, state funds that were used actually against current Prime Minister Netanyahu during the 2015 elections. How did that influence the bill that you guys have proposed?
It actually expedites, because it only showed how dangerous is the current law and the loopholes that exist. Think about it. Foreign, in this case State Department money, came into Israel and was targeted to get votes against Netanyahu. This is the phenomena we're facing. So I think what happened, the bill was a little bit stuck for the last few months because of internal issues between the coalition parties. We had to discuss it. And once we saw where this can happen and where this can lead to if we don't stop it, expedite the efforts. We now have a unity around the coalition, and I'm pretty sure that during the next Knesset Moshav, we're now going to the summer break, when we come back it's going to be finished, the bill is going to be finished and proceed.
So you're seeing support now that's across party lines for this bill?
Yes, from the coalition side, yes. We had to make sure, we don't want to stop free opinions or people opinions. What we want to stop is the effect of money. When people come with a lot of money, and we're talking about millions of dollars, this phenomena we want to stop. We don't want to stop when people want to put their voice out there. That's legitimate, that's what elections are for. But we don't want that to be targeted against or for specific parties, because that's breaking the law, the rules of the law, let's say, right now.
The state of Israel is largely funded by foreign organizations, and that's across the political spectrum. How is this different? How will this change that as a whole?
We're separating the time which we call election time, which is about 3 months before election time. This is what we're looking only on this specific period, because if you want to deal with all the rest of the time, that's no problem. But if during this 3 months you're doing what we called active parties activity, like going into voters, ask them what they want to vote, and then offer them to take them to the voting place, this specific action of identifying people, what their votes, and bring them to vote, this is something that we think should be left alone to the parties. So we define these specific scenarios of activities that are crucial for parties, and whoever is doing that during election time will be under the bill. And that means that he cannot gather millions of dollars from wherever he wants. He has to be limited to certain limitations of that will stop getting big money from people. But you can still do that if you get a limit of 11,000 shekels, which is about, I think, $3,000. So you can still get votes to do that, and you can still get donations to do that, but under limitations. So basically, again, the target is to keep Israeli election as it is.
So we're focusing specifically on
focusing
the election
on huge donations that will be stopped if someone wants to use this money to affect elections.
How do you think this bill is going to affect the future if it is, in fact, passed?
I can ask you a different question, which will be, if this bill would not pass, what's going to happen to Israeli election? And it's very simple. Everybody saw the V15 phenomenon in the last election, and if we're not going to correct the bill, the next election, we're going to see the same phenomena all over. Everybody will try to get their hands in. We'll see huge sums of money coming in from either from Israel or outside of Israel, opens NGOs who are trying to force the money into the voters and trying to change voters and to get voters that they want to vote and the others not. So if we're not going to stop this, If we're going to stop it, we're going to have the same election kind of system that we had, in which, you know, parties are competing for their votes. If we're not going to stop that, each party is going to try to get whoever to support her in a kind of an NGO dressing. So I hope this won't be, and we'll be able to stop that.
Well, thank you so much for coming in and telling us about this bill.
Thank you very much.